What is up, everybody? You are listening to Enough Daily by your girl, Taylor Marie. This podcast is all about overcoming what you may think is impossible. A place where we discuss tools, topics, and stories that have helped me overcome unhealthy coping patterns. How we feel about ourselves has an enormous impact on our mental health and well-being. Because when we don't feel great about ourselves or consider not being good enough, we tend to make decisions that are not in our best interest. So allow me to not only be a lighthouse for you for hope, but most importantly, a reminder that you are enough. Hello. What is up, guys? I hope you guys had a great weekend and a great start to a new week. I hope we're going to implement something this week that we didn't last week to, just get us one step closer to being the best version of ourselves, whatever that may be that you have, say, on your vision board or what you want to see when you look at yourself in the mirror. But today, we're going to talk about taking your gym to the brain. And that's how I always like to refer it to, because just like anything, you can't go to the gym once, you can't go to the gym for a week and expect the results that you want to see or expect the feelings that you want to feel from it. So taking your gym to the brain, to me, means meditation. So that's how I like to think of it as. So it's not as crucial or daunting or, oh God, I have to sit there and meditate. Because I do remember when I first started meditating, I'll tell you my story. I think it was through, I believe, Headspace at the time when it first came out. And I think I was like scrolling on Netflix and I saw it and I was like, I always heard about meditating being good for you, but I never truly tapped into it. And I thought Headspace was great because if you watch or have watched the Netflix episodes of it, it also gives you like a background. And I love just hearing the why to your doing something. Because I always say, if you know the why behind why you're doing it, you're not just doing it because everyone else told you it was good or this and that, you do your research and you actually see why, then you're probably more likely to stick to it and keep doing it longevity for long term, right? Just like going to the gym, just like we know eating healthy is going to give us so much more benefits than just losing the weight. So as anything, friends, you always just have to make it your lifestyle, because every little choice that you make throughout the day just brings you one step closer to who you want to be or who you don't want to be. So remember, if you're making little baby choices that are going to deter you from your goals, it's going to be the same way if you're making small choices every day to get you to your goal. So meditation can be one of them if you don't already meditate, or if you have like tried to meditate before, but it was maybe too uncomfortable for you or too scary and you were just like, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm not doing it no more. Because that's kind of how I felt in the beginning. When I first started, it was like a 3-minute meditation. That's kind of where Headspace starts you, especially if you're a beginner. I don't recommend you just jump into a full-blown 10 minutes. It's gonna seem so overwhelming and you're probably just gonna end up more frustrated. So start with something small. It could even be 1 minute. So don't worry about the time. Your goal is to worry about the present moment. And that's the whole point of meditating. Grounding yourself, being present with yourself, your breath, and not the thoughts that you have. Now, you are going to have thoughts going crazy, and you're almost going to feel like, well, what the heck was the point of this? Because I almost feel more frustrated finishing than where I started. And don't get frustrated. Remember, it's a practice. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Just like if it's your first time going into the gym, I'm sure your first day working out ever, or say if you took a month or two off from working out, the first day you go back, you feel like shit. It doesn't feel good. You got to get into that momentum. You got to find that consistency. And that is the same thing with meditating. So if you are one, I think we all struggle with this now today, where we have racing thoughts, we overanalyze, the anxiety, we procrastinate. We're always trying to predict the future. We're trying to control our thoughts, and it's just not possible with how much our thoughts go on a daily. And we typically have about 4,000 thoughts going within a 16-hour period, which is crazy. And that just shows you how our mind works. And they say a thought, each and every thought can literally only last for about 5 seconds before you move on to the next thought. So, meditating is all about grounding, being more in control of your thoughts. And, when you're in control of your thoughts, you're going to be able to be more in control of your emotions because, if your emotions are off, then your breathing is going to be off. And it's all connected. So, when we have anxiety or overwhelm, our breathing starts to change. We start to become more shallow breath. We take more faster breaths. And just to calm that down, you can even sit there and take 10 deep breaths. It doesn't have to be a whole meditating session to be meditating. So don't think like, even if you don't have time during your day, just pause. Give yourself 2 minutes to just take a step back from the world or anything that's going on overwhelming. May it be your relationship, maybe you're studying for a test or you have a deadline for work. Anything that may bring you overwhelmness where you just feel so, take a step back, do your breath work. And what I do is my breathing, there's so many different breath works for energy, anxiety, sleep. But my typical go-to when I need to like kind of just relax and take a step back is I'll take a big deep inhale. I'll do it for about 4 counts. And then I hold it at the top for about a minute or not a minute, sorry, a second or two. And then I will release it with an 8 count through my mouth, just nice and slow all through the diaphragm. And I do that about 8 to 10 times. And then, you just refocus. You're grounded with yourself. So just remember patience. So from where I started with doing 3 minutes. And then now I'm at 10. I've been doing it for about 2 years now. I kind of fell off from it. I ain't gonna lie, but I have been consistent for the past month with getting back on track with meditating, and it does feel good. Not every meditation you're gonna go through is going to feel good. There may be days where your mind is racing throughout the whole dang meditation. But, that's what you can't punish yourself. You can't get agitated or frustrated. This is where you kind of have to be patient, and that's kind of also what you're building through meditating is your patience will also increase within that. So just give yourself some grace, and it's always good to, when I tell myself like, okay, I feel my mind wandering, I'm thinking about this is not, I should be focusing on my breath, I'll just take it back, focus back on the breath, and if my mind starts to wander again, you just bring it back. And over time, you will get better and better. It's not going to feel so draining, but just know the benefits that are coming out of meditation. So all the things that I said with the racing thoughts, anxiety, if you have memory issues, this will all heighten and increase. And, this started way back years ago in the Aztec land, 3,000 years ago. But now, obviously, we have scientists that can back up the science of meditation, which is great. And it's, shown to bring down our stress and our blood pressure levels and all that good stuff. So there was a study that they had did. It was on a monk, and he was compared to his peers. And the interesting part about it is when they did the study, they had found that his stress levels were so low, he had the brain that was like 10 years younger than his peers. So it just shows you how much stress really ages you. And I feel like we always talk about that, right? Like stress adds on years. And, we want to try to take it back, not stress, ground our bodies. There was another study that was done that I have found at Harvard. So there was a Harvard study of meditation, staying consistent for after 8 weeks of meditating. It actually brings changes to the brain that was related to learning, memory increase, focus, and it also decreased anxiety, stress, and depression. Don't we all want those benefits? And we could get it naturally through meditating. And like I always say, I think everybody's trying to find that result through an external factor. May it be medication, or we're attaching ourselves to something else to fuel our, I don't know, serotonin or dopamine levels through an external source, which is only going to be temporary. But this, guys, you can just add it into your toolbox, all natural, increase over longevity. Let's try to bring down what they say is the monkey mind, where your mind is just constantly racing back and forth. And I'm reading a book right now. It's called Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. It's actually really, really good, and I'm going to implement a lot. I just started it, so I'm going to be implementing a lot of the things that I'm learning that he has taught, and this is one of them. It's in here. I just highlighted some of the ones that stuck out to me. So when your mind is racing and you practice mindfulness through meditation, you become more aware of your thoughts and your body. See if you can resonate, if this is you. So when you have a monkey mind, you can be overwhelmed by multiple things. But when you have a in-controlled, centered mind and your brain is getting stronger and healthier, you're going to become more focused on the root of the issue. Another one, complains, compares, and criticizes. Or are you compassionate, caring, and collaborative? Distracted by small things, or are you disciplined? Do you look for short-term satisfaction, or are you grounded for long-term gain? Are you a type of person that changes on a whim? You're just constantly doing things very quickly. There's no plan. Or do you commit to a mission, a vision, or a goal? Are you somebody who constantly is multitasking? Or do you single task? Do you write down a to-do list and you master one thing at a time? Are you a person who looks for pleasure externally? Or do you look for meaning in everything that you do? Pleasure versus meaning. And last one, are you somebody who looks for temporary fixes, or do you look for a genuine long-term solution? So those are just some things that you could think of, like where is your mind at today and where can it be better at in the future through, practices like meditation. So I hope this helped, guys, for anyone who, maybe has been slacking in the meditation world or has never even dabbled into it and kind of wants to try it. Give it a go. Remember, be gentle with yourself in the beginning. It's not going to be easy. Remember the why to it. Remember, this is just bringing you to a better space. And like I always tell you, guys, don't live an insane life. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And I hope you guys, let's take our brains to the gym this week.